Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're exploring a really captivating stretch of Minnesota, the drive from Taylor's Falls up to Wild River State Park.
Yeah, it's a fantastic route. We're talking dramatic landscapes, deep history, natural wonders.
Yeah,
Perfect if you're a curious sort.
exactly. And we've pulled together quite a bit for this geology info, park details, even some, personal takes from folks online.
Right. The aim is to give you a really good feel for this drive, bring its story and its highlights to life.
Okay, let's jump right in. The geology here is just wow. It sets the stage for everything else. We have to go way, way back, like 1.1 billion years ago.
That far back, yes. Hard to picture, but think of a huge rift valley starting to form, basically tearing the continent apart.
Like the East African Rift today, but here in North America.
Sort of, yeah, from Lake Superior down towards Kansas. And with that rifting came massive volcanic eruptions, pouring out floods of basalt lava.
And that's the dark rock we see in the gorge.
That's it. The cliffs along the St. Croix River there, that's the ancient basalt. The rift actually failed eventually. It stopped splitting the continent.
So it's like a scar left behind. Okay, fast forward quite a bit to about 520 million years ago, late Cambrian. Minnesota's near the equator.
Covered by shallow, warm seas. And over millions of years, sand, mostly quartz sand, built up on the seafloor.
Which became the sandstone.
Exactly. That softer, lighter rock you see capping the basalt in places or forming bluffs further along the river. And those basalt cliffs we mentioned, they were actually islands back then.
Wow, islands in a tropical sea. Okay, another big leap forward. The end of the last ice age, maybe 12,000 years ago, glaciers change everything again.
Oh, dramatically. As the ice sheets melted, huge amounts of water rushed through this area. The St. Croix Valley became this massive channel for glacial meltwater.
And all that water carrying rocks and sand, it must have been like liquid sandpaper.
Precisely. Especially around Taylor's Falls, it scoured through the softer sandstone and even ground down into the hard basalt beneath.
Creating the glacial potholes at Interstate Park.
Yes. That incredible force drilled those holes. Some are tiny, some are huge. There's even one they call the world's deepest explored pothole. You can walk right among them, see the lava rock, even peek into the bake oven pothole.
Interstate Park sounds like a must-see then. It's right there at Taylor's Falls. What's the best way to experience it? Trails.
Definitely trails. There are about 5 miles total. The Glacial Potholes Trail itself is short, maybe half a mile, but it gets you right up close. It can be a bit uneven, stairs involved.
Okay, what else?
Well, there's the Walter F. Mondale River Trail. That one's longer, 1.3 miles one way, gives you fantastic views over the St. Croix. Good for bird watching too. People see herons, eagles.
Nice. And that connects somewhere.
Yeah, it connects via a tunnel under Highway 8, which is pretty cool, to the Sandstone Bluffs Trail.
A tunnel. Okay. What about easier options?
There's the railroad trail. It's about 1.5 miles, pretty easy, follows an old railway line. You get these interesting views looking up at the sandstone sitting on top of the basalt.
And that Sandstone Bluffs Trail you mentioned.
That one's a bit more challenging. A 1-mile loop can be steep, lots of stairs, over 200, I think. But you get wildflowers, maybe a waterfall called Curtain Falls if there's been rain, and a really stunning valley overlook.
Sounds like a good workout with a great payoff. And you need a Minnesota State Park pass for Interstate, right? Daily or annual?
Yep, standard park pass required. There's a visitor center, too, near the north entrance.
Good to know. Okay, so we leave Interstate Park, head north on Highway 95 towards Wild River State Park. What's the drive like?
It's beautiful. Remember, this whole river section is a National Scenic Riverway. So both sides, Minnesota and Wisconsin, are kept largely wild, undeveloped.
Ah, so not a lot of houses or towns right on the river.
Not in this stretch, no. The road winds along, sometimes close to the river, sometimes a bit further back, but you get these lovely scenic overlooks and glimpses of the water. It really feels quite natural.
Untamed is a good word for it then. So we arrive at Wild River State Park. How does it feel different from Interstate?
It's a different vibe. Interstate is all about that dramatic, rocky gorge. Wild River feels, well, broader, maybe. And you notice a shift in the trees.
Oh, how so?
It's a transition zone. You start leaving the more northern pine forest feel and get into more maples, oaks. Oak savanna even, which means fall color there can be spectacular.
Yeah, noted for autumn trips. What about the history within Wild River Park?
It's got layers, just like Interstate. People have been in this valley for like 6,000 years. It was Dakota and Ojibwe land.
And then European settlers.
Fur trade posts popped up in the 1840s. Then a military road was actually built right through the park area in 1849, connecting St. Paul to Lake Superior. You can still find parts of it.
Wow, walking on a 170-year-old roadbed.
Yeah, and logging was huge later on. Nevers Dam was built on the St. Croix right there in 1890 to help manage the log drives. Operated until about 1912.
So much history packed in. And geologically, is it the same basalt bedrock underneath?
It is. That same billion-year-old rock is down there, but it's mostly buried under glacial deposits at Wild River. It still influences the landscape, forming the river basin, but you don't see the dramatic exposures like at Taylor's Falls. The glaciers shaped this area too, of course.
Makes sense. So with that transition in forest type, what about wildlife?
It's really diverse because of that mix. You get white-tailed deer, lots of waterfowl ducks, herons, bitterns, raptors too, like bald eagles, marsh hawks, barred owls, and tons of wildflowers.
Bald eagles are always a highlight. Do they do anything special to manage the land?
They use prescribed burns, yeah. Controlled fires to help maintain the prairie areas and the oak savannas, keep them healthy. It's actually really important for those ecosystems.
Interesting. So if you're visiting Wild River, what are the main things to do? Hiking, I assume.
Loads of hiking. Over 30 miles of trails from easy to more experienced levels. There's even an accessible paved trail, the old logging trail, about 3 miles long.
That's great for accessibility. Any specific loops you'd recommend?
Well, there are self-guided trails like Amex Pond Loop, good for wetland wildlife, maybe seeing beaver signs. The Windfall Trail is pretty flat, good for snowshoeing too. Trails follow the old military road, go out to the Nevers Dam overlook. Lots of options.
And other activities besides hiking?
Oh, yeah. Winter means cross-country skiing. They have about 19 miles groomed. Horseback riding in the summer on designated trails. Canoeing and boating on the St. Croix. Of course, there's a boat landing.
Camping?
Plenty of camping. Drive-in sites, some with electricity, plus canoe-in sites, backpack sites, equestrian camping, group sites, even cabins you can rent.
Wow, lots of ways to stay overnight. Fishing any good?
People fish for smallmouth bass, northern pike, walleye, catfish in the river. But, you have to be careful. The current can be strong. There are shallow spots, debris.
Good advice. Are there visitor facilities?
Yep, the McElroy Visitor Center has exhibits, nice river views. There's also a trail center that's open year-round. The boat landing area is apparently a good spot to see trumpeter swans in winter and eagles pretty much anytime.
Excellent. One important thing, though, invasive species.
Unfortunately, yes. Zebra mussels and Eurasian water milfoil are in the St. Croix. Certain invasive carp have been found too, so it's really crucial. Clean your boat, drain it, dry everything.
Yeah.
Standard procedure, but so important.
Absolutely vital. Now, we heard some insights from people who know the area well. What did they say about Wild River?
A common theme was that it's often less busy than Interstate Park, which can be nice. People seem to really love it.
Any specific tips?
Someone mentioned the Deer Creek campsite as being particularly nice, but also flagged that late May can be peak tick season, so be prepared.
Good practical advice.
Definitely. And bug spray is generally recommended, especially in warmer months, given the river and some swampy areas. For lighter activities, people suggested the River Walk, the River Terrace Trail, checking out the Nevers Dam site. Those are good, less strenuous options.
And eagle sightings.
Yeah, that came up again. Especially near that Amex Pond Loop seems to be a reliable spot.
Great tips. Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive, the drive from Taylor's Falls to Wild River State Park, what's the main takeaway for you?
For me, it's the sheer timescale you encounter. You go from seeing billion-year-old rocks shaped by glaciers relatively recently to walking paths used by fur traders, all within this beautiful, protected river valley. It's quite profound, really.
I agree. It's that layering of stories, the immense geological forces, the human history, and the living nature there today. You get the dramatic start at Interstate and then this shift to the maybe quieter beauty of Wild River.
It's a journey through different landscapes and different eras, all connected by the St. Croix.
So a final thought for you, our listener. As you explore places like this, think about the stories held in the rocks, the rivers, the trails. What discoveries might be waiting for you on a journey from the dells of the St. Croix to the woods and savannas of Wild River? We hope you get a chance to find out. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.